Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 12 o'clock on a Saturday, which is kind of a weird time to put up a video, especially one with no intro. I'm assuming this video is not going to have an intro, and it won't have an outro either. So why am I putting a video up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday when I never put up a video? And more importantly, why am I sitting down in my recording studio at my house at 5:30 in the morning filming a video to put up today? What is the reason for that? Well, the reason is I want to talk to you about something kind of very important. I want to preface this with two things. First of all, the reason I'm doing it now is because I think it's something that the entire community should know about and should talk about. I think it's a very important thing to actually discuss. And I'm leaving for Scotland at about 8 o'clock. So I literally have no time to do this. My staff don't work on the weekend, so I'm doing it myself. So literally, this is the only time I've got to do it. Now, I will tell you, excuse me, I've already filmed a video on Monday, which kind of touches briefly on this subject. But the video on Monday is it's kind of a help video, an advice video. It's kind of the secrets of my success, and it's a video all about kind of what I've done to become prolific and well known as a magic creator. But the starting point is what I'm going to talk about now, but it's kind of blown up. Now, I'll also say from the beginning, I'm absolutely fine. And please don't worry. In fact, I'm finding this whole thing quite comical. But it's something that I think we should all talk about. And that's what we can do. We can talk about it. So let me explain what this is all about. And I have my trusty laptop here to kind of explain exactly what's going to happen. So basically, I received an email yesterday afternoon. And it was a very confusing email. It was very confusing for a few different reasons. I'm just going to find the email here, so I have a frame of reference. So, it was a very confusing email. And the reason it was a very confusing email was, first of all, it's from this website called Anonymous Email, which I've never heard of before. It's an email generator that you can use to send somebody an email if you don't want them to know who you are. Look, here's the thing. I get, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I probably get about 10 or 15 emails a day. Never had one from Anonymous before. Normally what people do, they'll fill the contact form in on my website and put a fake email address in, or they'll create a fake email address specifically to send me email. I get probably 10 or 15 emails a day from people saying, various different things about me or Ryland and who I am and what it's constant, which is fine. To be honest, back in the day when I used to do rants, that sort of thing used to really affect me. Now I've kind of come to the point where I just don't really care. I actually find a lot of these quite amusing. And what I find most amusing about them is that they always feel like they have to send the website, they have to send me the vital information they need me to know about myself, but they don't want me to know who they are. It's never somebody who will actually openly say, hey, my name is this person and I want to say this about you. It's always from a fake email address. But even with that, I've never heard of Anonymous before. So I was like, what's this? And I looked into it. So it's a fake email generator. You can actually send an email to somebody and it'll come from no reply at Anonymous Mail. So there you go. If you want to send me a fake hate email, don't worry about setting up a fake Gmail account. This is a lot quicker. You're welcome. So, look, the email came through and I'm like, what? It pinged my attention. And part of the reason it pinged my attention is because I'd never heard of Anonymous email before. So it got me reading it. And as I read it, I was like, hang on a minute, this is a bit confusing. Let me read the email to you, first of all. Because I want you to understand, this is not about me. This is about a bigger problem in the magic community. But this is the starting point. And I want to discuss this with you and get your opinion down below. So this person, of which we don't know who they are, says, I cannot understand the logic. You bitch, moan and complain about piracy and people stealing tricks, and now you're doing exactly the same. The new ACAAN you stole from the Gaffed Academy and Steven Taputoro, they are showing this completely free how to do it on their channels. And then there's 2 YouTube links, of which I'm glad because I never would have found this video. There's 2 YouTube links. The first one is to a YouTuber called Steven Taputoro, who I've never heard of before, but he's got way more subscribers than me. He tends to do a lot of tutorials, and it's a video of him teaching an ACAAN with 2 decks with writing on the back of the cards. And then the other one is to a guy called the Gaffed Academy, who I've also not really heard of, less viewers, less subscribers, and he's basically just performing the Steve Taputoro trick, or the trick that Steve Taputoro showed. And he said, you've decided to come along and take the same trick and now put it behind a paywall. How low down and filthy do you need to be? I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And then it turns out he's talking about, by the way, to give you a frame of reference, he's talking about a trick that I put up on the Netrix called Boomless Box, which went up on the Netrix, I think, last week. And as we always do with stuff that goes on the Netrix, we did a magic live on it as well. So it went up as a magic live on YouTube. He said, I will be contacting Netflix and showing them how your site is almost the same as theirs. Boom, there you go. Same as theirs. They took down a lot of sites that's similar to their names before. You're a complete scumbag con artist. The amount you're charging for access to some magic tricks per month. Here's an idea. Get a proper job instead of trying to make a living off hobbyists who are only trying to learn new things. Do you really think people can afford what you're charging a month? How do you sleep at night knowing you are a low down dirty thief? At this point, I was still confused as to what's going on. I'll address that in a minute. He said, they say stealing something that's free to learn online and putting it behind a paywall as if it's your own is just the worst low-down scummy thing I've ever seen anyone do. I guess I don't expect anything from here we go, here come the insults, I always get them. Anything from a mush-mouthed, bald, cross-eyed, ugliest motherfucker I've seen. I bet all the other 500 tricks you have behind the paywall are other people's as well, and you have no right whatsoever stealing and making money from them. Then you have the nerve to make a video the other month moaning about people stealing other people's work. How much of a hypocrite can you be? Seriously. I bet if I go over the 500 tricks behind that paywall, I know you already know this, you did not create them, you sure as well do not have any rights in selling them when they're not yours. That's like me taking stuff you do tutorials on and selling them. I bet you bitch and moan about that, right? But yes, it's fine for you to do the same thing to others. You, sir, one amazing human. People like you are what's wrong with the world. Steal other people's work, make money from it, boast about it, then moan about piracy. Ha 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 ha. That's him. Ha 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 ha. That's not me. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. What's wrong with people like you? There we go. Make money from it, boast, blah, blah. I'm actually wondering, here come more insults. I'm actually wondering if you are honestly mentally disabled in some way. So if you are a retard, like a real disabled individual, then please ignore this email, I'm sorry. But if you're not mentally ill or disabled or retarded, then you should be completely ashamed of what you're doing. Selling other people's work that they are giving away for free, that's low for you and that's saying something. Yeah, so there you go. So that email came through. At about 11 in the morning. And that was the catalyst for me to make a video. We'll get back to the rest in a minute. That was the catalyst for me to make a video that's going up on Monday. And the video on Monday kind of referenced that for a couple of minutes. But it was more about, hey, the video on Monday is all about the secrets of my success. It's kind of what I've done within this community to come back to the community and be able to be as successful as I have. I'm still going to put that video up on Monday. I then had a million things to do. I had like a million things to do with my business and so on and so forth. And then I went to a gig with Matt and Jay Blunt and Lucky Lee. Sam, oh my God, there were 6 of us. Sam was there. My God, Paul Hancock was there. It was an amazing event. Me, obviously. It was an amazing event, absolutely amazing event. And as I'm coming back, I'm looking in my emails. There's literally about 50 emails. I'm not going to read all of them. There's literally about 50 emails, all from this anonymous email. Every single one of them from this anonymous email. And they're all kind of referencing the same thing. Now, I'll read a couple of them because I don't want to get into it too much. But I'll read a couple of them because it's kind of really important. So, they all kind of read very much the same way. Somebody said, Craig, you really surprised me. You're a filthy pirate taking other people's tricks and selling them as your own when all these tutorials are free online. I can't believe that you've stolen that guy's ACAAN. There you go. I've reported you to YouTube, the Better Business Alliance, for theft and selling of items that are not yours following. So a lot of people are saying that there's this big YouTuber, and nobody's referencing anything. It's ridiculous. And he's telling people to unsubscribe from me. Hey, great holiday tutorials, love them. But even those weren't yours to sell, like the Out of This World. This has made a lot of sense to a claim another magician made last night. He's saying you took his card trick and is now selling the tutorial. I laughed until I watched your demo of it, and I was right. He uploaded this onto his channel 3 weeks ago, so I now see that you are pirating his trick and selling it online. I've been asked to report you to YouTube for copyright and Netflix for trademark violations. I know a lot of the community have already done it, and I will be doing it as well. I fear that you have fucked up completely. This is going to be a bad December for you. I'm sorry, but I hate you. I'm just flicking through some of these because they're worded very, very similar. We're being asked by someone to report you to YouTube and Netflix trade department over a paid tutorial site. Don't want to use my real email as I don't want any backlash, and I know you're a very unstable man. That's 7 or 8 people said the same thing from all your rants and ravings on the website. So staying out of this. He's putting it in people's heads that you're a pirate. You've stolen his ACAAN, blah, 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 blah. So you're a caught pirate after all. Boo, Craig, boo, you've been caught. A big YouTube magician is asking people to use this website to report you to YouTube and Netflix trade department in droves. I'm not going to be doing that as it's going to be far off, but I'm guessing if others are supporting this, they'll do it, and eventually with enough emails, YouTube will take your channel down. I don't want your channel to go, but remember, it's only 3 strikes and it gets taken off. Lots of people are saying the same thing. These all read like the same person, to be honest. Can't believe you stole his ACAAN. Can't believe you're a pirate. Hey Craig, bro, you're being dragged through the mud. Some big magician dude who's asking people to let you know that you're selling stuff that doesn't belong to you. They're asking us to report you to YouTube and contact Netflix about using their trademark name. Apparently you're selling his any card at any number on your website when he's showing it for free, and now is making people think that you're a pirate. In a way, I'm upset. I thought it was just BS. But this any card trick you're forcing people to pay for, I learned it 3 weeks ago off this guy's channel. So I can see why he's upset, and he's out for revenge. I'd seriously think about taking it down or turning it into a free tutorial because he's mad, bro. Happy Christmas. Evening, mate. I'd use my real email to contact you, but I'm actually a fan of the website and the channel, and you've shown some great tutorials. I was a Netflix user for a couple of months. It was too expensive. It should only be $1. Fantastic. Trying to get down for copyright infringement, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe you're selling his ACAAN. It's all about the ACAAN. What's he say there? He did make a good point. If you're selling his work and getting money for it, does that mean all the other tricks behind the paywall are also other people's tricks that you have no right to be selling? If I were you, I'd remove that trick from the website and the YouTube channel. You've really pissed this popular magician off big time. He's out for blood. This dude has like 1 million followers, and if all of them try and get you, you're going to be done. Only takes 3 strikes to have this channel taken off. There it is again. Dude, I would issue an apology video and explain that if the tricks you're selling are other people's, you're being labelled as a massive pirate, dude. These are all from this same anonymous email address, by the way, anonymous. You've probably got some emails about this, no doubt. If not, then you probably will. You've upset a really popular YouTube magician and took his tricks he's teaching freely and selling. You do know that card at any number trick he teaches last month that that's his, and he's caught you having the nerve to sell it on your site thingy. He's pissed, man, and he's wanting people to contact you via this place to let you know. I'm right with him, man. Kind of wrong. You selling something you never created. What gives you the right to do this? If all the tricks on blah, 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 blah. Hey, lots of people saying they're unsubscribing. Everyone says they're unsubscribing from YouTube and they're unsubscribing from Netflix. All written very, very similar. Not a fan of people taking it. I could go on. Hey, long-time fan, I've supported you for the longest time. There's another popular YouTube magician who's not very happy with you right now and urging his followers to use this anonymous service to contact you and let you know what we think of you. I'm very upset and disappointed with you, Craig. Your latest any card at any number is not yours to sell on his website. It was shown freely by 2 of the magicians last month. You did not create this, and you certainly do not have the rights to sell this as your own. It's really shocked and hurt us that you would take someone else's work and try to sell it on your website. I've been a fan of the website Netrix for a long time, but I have unsubscribed immediately. So have many other members, and I've unsubscribed from your YouTube channel. I'm very upset and disappointed in you, Craig, blah, 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 any card at any number. Unsubscribe from your channel and your Netrix. I do not support piracy. This magician has over 1 million followers. He's urging people to let you know what we think of your dishonesty. Blah, blah, this is going to blow up on you. I can't believe how much of a scumbag you are. Good grief, it just goes on and on and on. This is sick what you're doing, taking someone else's free ACAAN and putting it behind a paid website where people get scammed to learn the trick for free when they found them and made their own. Blah, 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 blah. Gaffer and Steve, the Aussie guy, showed this off 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's not yours to put behind a paywall. I actually use the Netrix, but I've just unsubscribed. I've been asked to report you to YouTube on behalf of the author and Netflix, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. Pathetic. What a way to do business. Steal from others and provide it for free and then charge us for it. Hopefully you don't teach these morals to your family. I'd say happy holidays, but you don't care about who you screwed over. It's not happy for them. By the way, your son's a cunt. That was classy. I'm a YouTube magician, and this forum is asking other magicians to report you for YouTube for copyright. It just goes on and on and on. It's the same bullshit. Right, okay, so why am I making a video about this at 5:30 in the morning? So I'm making a video because this is a major issue, man. This is paramount to, like, bullying. Here's the thing. I'm a big boy. I've been in this industry a very long time. I can take stuff like this. This is another day in the office for me. I'm not really that fussed. But for somebody who's a new creator that's getting into magic, that's like trying to make a name for themselves, and they got targeted like this, that would be absolutely heartbreaking. I know that that would screw somebody up mentally. It really, really would. Now, here's the thing. So let's just address the main point first of all. And I find it hilarious that the thing that they've actually talked about is this this any card at any number. We'll go back to the beginning one. They're talking about this any card at any number. Steve Taputoro performed and explained this any card at any number 3 or 4 weeks ago on his YouTube channel. And then this other guy, Gaffed Academy or something, Gaffed Academy, he performed it. I didn't see an explanation of it, at least in the links that I was sent. And I poked around on both YouTube channels. I couldn't see anything. So that's that. Let's just address that first of all, because the fact that they've done this over that video is hilarious. So here's the thing, right? And this is what's so fucking funny about this whole thing, that they've gone down this route, right? So the any card at any number that I put up on the Netrix last week was called Boomless Box. I'll put a link in the description down below so you can see it, okay? That's the link to Boomless Box. Now, they're saying, and Boomless Box is called Boomless Box because, if you remember when I put the Boombox project out by Andrew Niner, I did an ACAAN where people where I'd written on the back of, written on the face of the cards for an ACAAN. I've written on the face of the cards, and I used the Boombox to do a switch to get a very clean 2-deck ACAAN. And that's and this is a version that doesn't use the Boombox, so I put it up as Boomless Box. I then went and watched the offending ACAAN, and first of all, it's a completely different method in many, many ways, because first of all, this Steve guy and Gaffed Academy, or whatever their names are, they've got a 2-deck version of ACAAN, right? Yep, absolutely, 2 decks. And they're taking 1 deck and they're writing on the cards, but they're actually writing on the backs of the cards, not on the fronts. And they're using a Stebbins style principle to be able to create a kind of a pseudo kind of stack from a shuffled deck. It's clever, actually. It's quite a clever method. Completely different method to Boomless Box. Completely different method. And if anybody compares the two, you'll see it's a completely different method. Boomless Box, the cards are written on the face, and it's a... But even if it's not, even if that's me defending it, because I ripped off their trick and varied it slightly and put it out as my own. Here's the funny thing. Boomless Box was the new name for a trick that I first published on the Forecast project by 1914, almost 3 years ago. So if anybody's seen Forecast by myself in the 1914, I put out a 2-deck ACAAN, where one deck was in mnemonica, and the second deck you'd written on the faces of the cards, and the deck wasn't in stack, but there were like 26 mini stacks. And so you can actually have them stop anywhere they wanted to. They could stop anywhere they wanted to. You can have them choose which 2 cards they want to take out. And those 2 cards, they could even have one last decision and decide which one represents the number, which one represents the face, and then the card would always be at the position in the deck. That's the exact same trick as Boomless Box. The reason I took it and put it up online is I've had a lot of my Netrix subscribers say to me they want to have more tutorials on the Netrix with mnemonica, and they want me to set up a memorized deck section. So slowly I've been adding memorized deck tricks to the Netrix, and I've been adding some brand new ones that weren't on Forecast, some older ones that were on Forecast, some unpublished ones, and I'm setting up a mem deck section. And I decided to put this trick up on there for the simple reason that it's a great way to learn a mem deck without actually having to know the mem deck, because the big problem about somebody learning the mem deck is using it for the first time in the real world and worried because you can't remember what cards are what cards are a particular number. So having this second deck of cards with you allows you to have a mnemonica there, allows you to put that deck down on the table, and if your mind's gone blank, you can still do an amazing trick with the deck in mnemonica without actually needing to do a trick that involves you memorizing the deck of cards. Doesn't really matter. The fact is, this trick was published on Forecast almost 3 years ago. And there's people that have actually performed it online. There's a reviewer that performed it as part of his review of Forecast. Also, I'm going to link down below to a video. This is a video that was put up. It's like a review show special of the Forecast project. And it was, I think, 2.5 years ago that I put this up. Now, I'll tell you how far back this was. This was before Matt did magic. You remember when Matt was a muggle and everything impressed him? This is back then. This is before the first Matchometry. There was no such thing as the Matt test back then. But I'm performing the tricks off Forecast on Matt. And you can see, I'll link in the description down below to this review show special. You see the exact same trick being performed on Matt 2.5 years ago. So the literally 70 or 80 emails that I've had saying that I've ripped off this guy's any card at any number because he put it online a month ago on his channel and I ripped it off by putting it on the Netrix last week. I published that trick 3 years ago. So if they are the same, I should be annoyed at him, because if they are the same, I published it 3 years ago in a product published by the 1914 that's provable by looking at the link down below and provable by asking anybody who's got Forecast. All I did is I took that trick and I put it on the Netrix. I changed the name because I couldn't remember the name of the original trick, and I didn't want to spend ages going through the Forecast project. So I just changed the name to the Boombox, and I explained on the Netrix, hey, this was originally published on this, it was called whatever. It was published 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. So, first of all, the whole thing about me ripping off somebody, and everybody, apparently, we'll get to that, coming down on me like a ton of bricks. I published if they are the same, I published it 3 years ago. And I should be annoyed, but here's the thing, it's not the same. I would never watch this guy's ACAAN, this Steven Taputoro. I'd never watch his ACAAN and go, he's ripped me off. Yes, there are similarities. It's a 2-deck ACAAN. Yes, one of the deck is in stack. Yes, the other deck has numbers written on it. But the numbers are on the back, and he's using more of a Stebbins style principle. It's actually really good. You should check it out. I'll link that down below as well. It's got a tutorial online. It's a great way of doing it. Completely different to what I'm doing. Not as good, I believe, because with the numbers on the face, it means that you've apparently giving them more freedom. But whatever. By the way, it doesn't really matter. It's courses for courses. it's a completely different trick. And I would never go after this Steve Taputoro guy and say, hey, you're ripping me out. I'd never do that because they're two separate tricks. Even though, based on what everyone is saying, I could go after him because it's my trick, proven by the link down below. So, let's just get that out of the way. This whole Craig Petty's a pirate thing is just complete and total crap. If I was pirate and I was hiding something on the Netflix behind the paywall, I wouldn't be putting them up on YouTube as well. That's not the biggest problem here. That's not the biggest problem. I don't let this stuff get to me. When you have been where I've been with things like Red, you're never going to be in a situation where you're just like, oh, I'm never, ever going to be in a situation where I'm scared of people sending emails like this. Because what's the worst case scenario? Somehow I've ripped somebody off and I get kicked out of the Magic community again? I don't really care. Because frankly, I spend so much time doing this stuff, it can sometimes negatively affect my business. I think if I did leave the Magic community, I'd probably be better off. And that comes to the point that several... Now, I'm going to make one more point, and then I'm going to make the big point. The reason I'm making this video at 5:30 in the morning. So, you know, many of the emails insult me. They insult how I look. They call me retarded, you know, whatever. Whatever. Some of the people are saying stuff like, the amount you're charging to access magic tricks per month, here's an idea, get a proper job instead of just trying to make a living off hobbyists who are only trying to learn new things. I have a proper job. I have a proper job. I don't need to do this. I make probably £350 a month off YouTube. I don't need to do this. I have a proper job. Look, I'm not going to willy wave or anything like that, and I mentioned this on the Monday video, so I'm going to briefly mention it now. I've just been to Penguin Magic for a week. I went over to Penguin Magic. I was filming their Christmas special with Eric Tate and Carissa Hendricks. I didn't charge Penguin a penny for that because they're going to put that video up for free. I put together a lecture for them and taught all of that material for free, not wanting anything in return. While I was there, I filmed 4 products. 2 of those products are mine. 2 of those products aren't even mine. They're for other creators. And Penguin asked me to come and do the tutorial for them on their behalf. I will get nothing from those tutorials. Absolutely nothing. The Nicholas Lawrence Vanishing Card Case that's just come out. I went and did that tutorial for free. The performances for free. I created the routines for free. Didn't want anything in return. I do that an awful lot. Murphy's Magic, Easy Tones. I've just done that whole project with Rich Relish. Do you know how much I charged? Absolutely nothing. Bricked by Drew Perry. That's just come out. Do you know how much I charged on that? Absolutely nothing. In a couple of weeks, you're going to have Trebloon come out by Eric Stevens and Alakazam as their new Elite Coin Range product. Do you know what? Eric's got 3 amazing routines on there. I've put 18 routines on that project. I spent 2 days filming the tutorials, God knows how much time creating the routines, and I went out and got all the live performances for the project as well, because when Eric was over in the UK, he didn't get time to do many live performances. And I spent nights going out and doing that. Do you know how much I charged Alakazam or Eric Stevens to do that? Absolutely nothing. I go out and I help various different creators for free, and I don't charge my time. Now, to go back to Penguin Magic, I've just been over there, and the majority of my time over there was spent doing stuff that's going to make me no money at all. No, I don't care, because it's the right thing to do. And when you watch the video on Monday, you'll see why I do that. But I don't mind. Now, while I've been away, I've turned down precisely 3 illusion shows, which I could have been here to do, but I wasn't able to. 2 close-up jobs of people that want me to go and perform for them and I can't send my team, and 1 motivational speaking gig. The average price of an illusion show is £3,000. That's £9,000. The motivational speaking gig, I just did one the other day and it was 2.5 grand. So let's say 2.5 grand. That's about 11.5 grand. You're looking at about 12.5, 13 grand worth of business that I could have done if I'd stayed in the UK and just worked on my business and gone out and performed at these events that I wanted to perform at. That's a fact. I'm really busy. Last night I was at a gig. Today, I'm about to go off to Scotland with Ryland and Matt to do a gig. I come back, I do a close-up job. 2 close-up jobs on the Monday. Then next week, I've got something like 6 illusion shows. It's Christmas. It's not just me. Every magician in the UK is really busy. And they're probably busy from mid-November. And yet I took a week and a half off in November to go and film something for the magic community for free. So anybody who sits there and says, oh, you know, you're trying to make a living off hobbyists, go and get a proper job, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea how much time it takes me to sit here in front of a camera filming videos to help people. That's what I do. I put videos up online constantly helping people. This video is being shot at 5:30 in the morning. I have to be at the house at 8. I'm going to spend the first 2.5 hours of my morning filming and editing a video to get it up online so that I can put it up. I'm going to do the same. You know, I've got 3 Talk Magic interviews that I've got to do because I'm really busy. The only time I can do them is 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I do all of that for free. Well, no, I don't. Let's get that right. I do that for £350 from YouTube. And to be clear, any money that I make from creating doesn't even touch what I make as a performer. Doesn't even touch it. The week that I went away at Penguin, if you add up the 2 projects that I filmed and how much I will get from them, it won't even come close to what I was making if I'd stayed here in the UK. So to turn around and say, how can I sleep at night? Pretty fucking well, to be perfectly honest. Because there's nobody in this industry that does more than I do to help people and put content out online for free. That's a fact. That's indisputable. And the Netflix is expensive, £15 a month for hundreds of videos. Justin Miller, Lloyd Barnes, Adam Wilbur, Michael O'Brien, Wayne Goodman. The list goes on and on. Some of the biggest names in magic. And plus, a ton of... I'm not going to defend the Netflix. I think it's the best value in magic. If I didn't, I wouldn't have done it. So, yeah, you know, the people that sound retarded, they can say whatever I want to. I don't care about that. That's not why I'm making the video. I'm making the video because this is dangerous. This is really, really dangerous. Now, here's the thing. I've had probably, I'd say, somewhere between 50 and 80 emails since midday yesterday. So in about 18 hours, I had about 50 to 80 emails from this anonymous email. And then I found more in my spam folder just before I came and filmed this video. And they've all said the same thing. They've all said, I've unsubscribed from from YouTube, and about half of them said, I've unsubscribed from the Netflix. Here's the thing, right? I can see if somebody unsubscribes from the Netflix. I get an email every time somebody unsubscribes. I get an email every time somebody subscribes. It's rare for people to unsubscribe because of how much value is on there, but it can happen. Since I went back and looked at the last 2 days, we've had 1 unsubscribe on the Netflix, and we've had 5 new subscribers. So it doesn't track. It really doesn't track. Then I thought, well, I'll go and have a look at YouTube. If hundreds of people unsubscribing to my YouTube channel, maybe, you know, that will show it. But nope, actually YouTube's gone up. All of these people that have emailed in going, I'm unsubscribing to your YouTube channel, my subscriptions have actually gone up. And I'm not the biggest channel in the world. I'm not a Lloyd Barnes. I'm definitely not this Steve Tarutu. I'm not at 50,000 subscribers because I don't want to be. If I wanted to make this channel more successful than it is, I could easily do that by putting a ton of free content on here, but I don't want to. That's not how I do business. But, you know, so as a channel the size that I am, you know, I'll get, I think I add probably somewhere between 200 and 300 subscribers a month. That subscription rate has actually gone up in the last week. And I can see how many people have unsubscribed. Nobody has unsubscribed, and my subscription rate has gone up. I can see that just by looking at the stats on YouTube. You guys can see that by looking at the total amount of subscribers on YouTube. So the fact is, I get almost 80 emails from this fake email generator saying that I'm going to be saying they're going to unsubscribe from me on YouTube. They haven't. Half of them saying they're going to cancel their Netflix subscription, which they haven't. And then every single email is written in the same way. And every single email starts with, hey, mate, I've been a subscriber of yours for a long time. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. I'd do the right thing. How can you be a pirate? It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's exactly the same thing. Now, here's the thing. I firmly believe that it's probably one or two people that have used this service to go down this approach. It's the same people that every couple of months try a new approach. A couple of months ago, they tried contacting my kids' school. A couple of months before that, they were slashing my wife's tyres and sending the police round to my house. A couple of months before that, it was another bunch of emails about a similar, another topic that was just bullshit. I could do videos every single day about this if I wanted to. I choose not to. It is what it is. Here's the thing, I've spoken to people about this, and I've spoken to my friend Brad Burton, who's a motivational speaker, and he's actually turned around to me and said, look, the reason people like you is because of this. If you want these people that really don't like you to like you, you're going to have to fundamentally change who you are and what you stand for, which is going to really annoy everyone who follows you in the first place. Be true to yourself. And that's kind of an epiphany point for me. It's why you've not seen me get upset about this stuff. And I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm upset. And please don't do the whole, are you all right, hon? Are you okay? Hey, they're just taking up room in your head. They're living rent-free in your head. I'm not doing this video for that. I couldn't really care less. The reason I'm doing this video is because I think this is dangerous, and I think this could affect somebody's mental health. For years, it's affected my mental health up until maybe 6 months ago when I realised I just don't care. But for a long time, I get emails like this, and it would cause me anxiety and stress, and I wouldn't be able to focus on anything else because it's not a nice thing to get. Getting an email calling you retarded, calling you stupid, calling you ugly, cross-eyed motherfucker, calling you every name under the sun, accusing you of stuff that you haven't done. It's not nice. Then when you get a ton of them, literally second after second after second after second after second, it could be really affecting to somebody. And that's what this video is all about. It's about, it's hard enough to make it as a creator in this industry in the first place. It is ridiculously difficult to make it as a creator. But to make it as a creator in this industry, having to put up with all of this crap, there are people that are going to leave. There are going to be people who are creators in this industry that if they had to deal with something like this, they would leave the industry. They would stop creating. And they might be the next Tobias Fostel. They might be the next Shen Lim. They might be the next Mario Lopez, but we don't know. We're never going to see that. We're never going to know that because they're never given the chance to shine, because certain people in this community will squash them down flat. So I want to say two things. The first thing I want to say is, if there's any creators in this industry and they're going through something like this, and I know as a creator, a lot of the time, if you go through stuff like this, as a content creator, if this sort of stuff happens to you, it can be something that you just don't want to share, and it can eat up every waking moment of your life. If you are a content creator and you're going through this, speak to somebody. Hell, speak to me if you want to. Speak to anybody you want to, but don't go through this alone, okay? Because as much as you kind of go, well, it's not going to affect me, if it happens over and over again, unless you're very mentally strong and you've been through that and back out the other side, it's going to really affect you. So try not to let it. I know there's new people creating content all the time. I know there's new people coming into this industry all the time. And I don't want people to feel like that they can't do what they love because other people are trying to squash them down. So if you want to speak to somebody, speak to me, speak to anybody. That's kind of the first thing that I want to say. The second thing that I want to say is, what has this industry become? What has this industry become? Like, as far as I'm concerned, and I've been doing this long enough, I think this is the same 2 or 3 people that have just filled in a load of these emails and they're just sending it off to me. They're all written very, very similar, and the proof is in the pudding. I haven't even contacted this guy. All the emails say there's this big YouTuber that's trying to make a exhibition of you or whatever it is. I haven't even contacted the guy. Why bother? I don't think it's him. If it was him and he was a YouTuber, well, he is a YouTuber. If it was him, he'd put a video up online. That's how YouTubers operate. It's not. It's just somebody who's taken this opportunity and they think they understand. And that's the other thing, right? Nobody does any research anymore. Let's say all of these emails are real. Just for a minute, let's just play devil's advocate and say that all these emails are real. Has nobody done any research? Has nobody gone and said, well, hang on a minute, this guy's accusing Craig of ripping off this trick. Hang on a minute, let's just have a look at this trick for a minute. Oh, hang on, I remember that from the Forecast Project, or something like that. Or hasn't anyone gone, well, actually, these are two completely different tricks, because although they use two decks, and although they involve writing numbers on cards, they are two completely different tricks, and the method is completely different. Has nobody done that? No, nobody has done that. Instead, it's a witch hunt that's been set up. And as I say, this could really negatively impact a creator. Because a witch hunt like this feels horrible. Now, I don't think this is a witch hunt. I don't think that this many people could be this stupid. I'm sure if you had this many people being asked to send emails to me through a fake email generator, one of them or somebody would look at it and go, actually, I've got Forecast. I think you're wrong. And I think somebody would email in and go, I think you're wrong. I've seen Forecast. I know that you put this trick 2 years ago. So, you know, it's just, I smell bullshit is what I'm trying to say. But that's the problem, right? The problem is a lot of people that do this, they just use fake emails. I don't get that. I'm fairly sure that the people that send me emails all of the time, there's probably the same 5 or 6 people that are just constantly sending me the same emails over and over again. It's probably the same people that put comments online about Ryland. Oh, he's horrible. He's disgusting. He's the worst magician in the world. Oh, Ryland's a disgrace to the magic community. I think it's all about like trying to make me feel bad a lot of the time, and they never use their real email address. I'm pretty sure I've met these people. I'm pretty sure they've seen me at a magic convention, and if they have, they've probably come over to me and they've probably gone, "Oh, Craig, I'm your biggest fan. Can you sign my this?" Yeah, that's probably what they've done. And then in the comfort of their own basements, they're going and doing this. And I wish. Look, I know that the person stroke people that have done this are watching this video, because the hilarious thing is whenever I get this sort of stuff, they always reference 5 or 6 of my videos. They always reference, like this guy, oh, you put this video up last week, and they've referenced the Christmas video that I did. They always reference the same 5 or 6 videos, or 5 or 6 videos. So they watch all of my stuff. The people that do this, they watch all of my stuff. They're probably obsessed about me. They watch all of my stuff, and then they fuel their hatred, and they send me a bunch of emails about this. Which to me is just hilarious that they've got the fucking time to do this. Even if it was 80 people, the fact that 80 people have got the time to do that just astonishes me. But it's not. It's one person, maybe 2 or 3 people. And they're just... How much time would this have taken to send all of these emails? Like, why not just actually pick up the phone and say, "Hi, Craig, my name's Bob. I fucking hate you, Craig, and this is why I hate you." I have more respect for the person then. At least then I know who that person is. At least then I can communicate them and go, "Hang on a minute, Bob. Let's just talk about this. Let's just talk for a second. Tell me why you hate me, Bob, and we'll start from there and we'll see if we can find some common ground." But no, it's always a fake email. It's always a fake email because they want to stand up loud and proud and they want to say what they have to say, but they don't want any accountability. And look, if I've got one final message on this video, it's to all the content creators out there. If you have a fake email, if you have somebody that's contacting you, it could be a fake YouTube account. I posted on Facebook the other day, somebody who literally created a YouTube account 1 minute earlier to post and tell me how terrible Ryland is. Well, great. The guy set up a YouTube account literally to tell me how horrible my son is. Perfect. The people that have the time to do this, to hide their identity so that they can tell you what a horrible person you are, they're not worth your attention. Oh, Craig's been a hypocrite because he's made this video. Yeah, this for me is a video shining a light on something that happens in the community that a lot of people aren't aware of. I'm pretty sure most people won't get to the point of this community where they're getting the level of hate that I am. But that's fine, because for everybody who doesn't like me, there's 100,000 people that do like me. And you can see that from the sales figures. So the bottom line is, I'm fine. I'm good. Honestly, I think that you guys that are watching this video, most of you, have been watching enough Magic TV to know when I'm upset and I'm riled up about something. I'm finding this whole thing fucking hilarious, to be perfectly honest. I think it's absolutely hilarious that somebody has got that much time. I just picture somebody sitting at home going, I know, I'm going to tell him I'm going to unsubscribe from YouTube. And I'm going to make like 80, even if they've used AI to create like 80 emails, which very possibly could be the case because they're all written. There's certain things that hit in every single email that's the same. There's certain things that are the same. It very possibly could be AI. Even if it is, the amount of time that it's taken to do that and then send each individual email. Good grief. I ain't got time to do that. Fuck that. Jesus Christ, not a chance. Yeah, it's kind of sad, really. Kind of sad. Whoever it is, I know you're watching the video. I know you're watching. Look, whoever it is, just carry on if you want to. You know, if you're doing it to me, then you're not doing it to somebody else, and I can handle it. So yeah, carry on. But hey, if you want to have a conversation about it, I'm not a hard man to find. Give me a call. Tell me who you are, and we can maybe find some common ground. For everybody else, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If this happens to you, or anything even similar to this happens to you, don't let it get to you. If there's one piece of advice I can give you is having a fake piece of communication telling you you're terrible is not worth the paper it's written on. If somebody can't tell you who they really are, if somebody has an opinion and they can't tell you who they are in order to give you that opinion, then they are not worth listening to. Everybody has an opinion, right? And I will listen to people's opinions. If somebody came up to me in the middle of a convention and said, hey, I'm James, I love your channel, but I would improve at doing this, I would listen. I would absolutely 100% listen. Don't listen to people that they haven't even got the guts to tell you who they are. They'll slag you off, they'll call you retarded, they'll tell you the most horrible person in the world, they'll try to make you feel bad about yourself. The way that they'll write it will make you feel bad about yourself, or try to, but they don't say who they are. They're not going to back up their convictions. So please, if you're a content creator, don't let this stuff worry you. And if it is worrying you, reach out to speak to somebody in the community, and don't let it stop you from creating. And if you're really interested in getting ahead in this industry, and you're really interested in making an impact in this industry, and you want to know what I've done, because like this guy said, 3 years ago, I left the community. 10 years ago, I left the community. I came back, and now I'm the biggest name in Magic, and you know, blah, blah, which I'm not, but by the by. If you want to know how I did that, I've got a video going up on Monday. I'm going to reference this at the beginning for maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes, I think. But then the rest of the video, and it's a fairly long video, is giving you advice on how you can actually do what I've done. I'm going to give you a step-by-step blueprint on doing what I did. So go and watch that on Monday. And yeah, other than that, thank you for joining me. I've got to get ready. Got to go to Scotland. Thanks very much for watching. You know, for those people that have watched this video and they're like, please, as I said, don't leave a comment going, oh, Craig, don't let them get to you. Oh, there's too much drama. I'm not doing this to cause drama. I'm doing this to highlight something that happens behind the scenes in the community that probably a lot of people aren't aware of. And it happens more than you would think. Not just to me. I've spoken to other creators. I've spoken to people like Chris James, and the same sort of thing happens to him. When you get to a certain level in this industry, the amount of hate that you get from people who don't allow you to know who they are is insane. So, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not just Magic, it's every industry. You know, when you put yourself out there on social media, you're going to attract some nutbags, and that's all they are. They're complete and total Fruit Loops who will stop at nothing to try and make you feel bad about yourself. You know what? I feel pretty good about myself. I'm off to go and smash an illusion show now with my son. Yeah, the same son that's shit. And he's going and doing a gig with me, and he's going to kill it. And the reason I got the gig is because they wanted him, but he can't go up to Scotland on his own. So we're taking the illusion show with us. You know what? That kid's doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'll see you again soon. Don't forget there's a Talk Magic tonight. Thanks for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.